It's rare for a tragedy to really touch almost everyone in a city, and in a fairly small city like Beirut. We've seen virtually everyone come forward with some kind of story.
A cloud of smoke covered every place. It rained the glass, stores, apartments, houses, everything fell down. People were screaming, running.
I was shocked. I was wondering what happened. Am I going to die?
So just after 6 p.m. on the 4th of August, a massive explosion rippled across Beirut.
The devastation, the breadth of this is just utterly staggering.
Overseas, new details about that massive explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. At least 150 people are confirmed dead.
Authorities say the death toll is almost certain to rise further as search operations continue and the number of missing remains unknown.
People have reported damage to their homes 5-6 kilometers away, even further. The shockwave was heard and felt across Beirut. It registered at about 3.5 on the Richter scale and was even heard in neighboring Cyprus, which is about 200 kilometers away over the sea. In the immediate aftermath of the blast, the reports were that a fireworks factory had gone up. But it was obvious that fireworks couldn't do the scale of damage that was seen across Beirut. And pretty quickly we learned that the culprit was, in fact, a massive stash of ammonium nitrate, 2,750 tons of a highly explosive substance that had been sitting in the port of Beirut for about 7 years. Ammonium nitrate is a very common substance. It has both civilian and military uses. Its most common civilian use is as a fertilizer. You put it in a field and it helps plants to grow. However, it's also highly explosive, and terrorist groups are among those who have been known to use ammonium nitrate to blow things up. One of the questions swirling around Beirut is why? Why was there so much of a risky substance just sitting within meters of residential properties, restaurants, people's homes, schools, hospitals? The answer that we have so far is that this ammonium nitrate was on its way from the Eastern European country of Georgia to the African state of Mozambique. In Mozambique, it would have been used by a commercial and industrial explosives company. Instead, the ship carrying the ammonium nitrate was impounded in Beirut. Some people say it's because there was a dispute over staffing, over port fees. The Lebanese are saying it's because the ship it was sailing on wasn't seaworthy. The point is, at some point after October 2013, the stash of ammonium nitrate ended up in a warehouse in the port of Beirut. Lebanese customs officials say they sent at least 6 letters to the Lebanese judiciary pleading with them to do something about this nitrate, saying that it was dangerous to the people who worked in the port, and that if left to its own devices, there was a risk that it could one day blow up all of Beirut. It's becoming clear that this occurred because of negligence, because of corruption. 2 things that Lebanon's political class have been accused of for many years. Lebanon had protests towards the end of last year in which people were expressing their outrage at the government for these very things, saying that they're corrupt, they're negligent, and they needed to go.
Beirut is crying, Beirut is screaming. People are tired. We had the revolution, and then we had the forest fires, and then we had the pandemic, and we had the economic crisis, and now this is the cherry on top. We're demanding justice.
You really couldn't have a more perfect symbol of all the things that Lebanese hate about their political class than an explosion from a substance that was sitting in the port that people knew was risky, but that nothing was done about for 7 years.